Hello, One Piece enthusiasts. I am the One Piece nerd, and today let us talk about Cross Guild. So, as of chapter 1056, Buggy has literally turned the tables upside down. We knew that when we fight the One Piece, the world would be turned upside down, but even without the One Piece, the world is still upside down. So, I don't know what upside down really means at this point. But if you guys haven't caught up to the latest chapter, make sure you do because I will be spoiling you. Now that you have, let's begin. So, what do I say? I mean, we all expected that Crocodile, Mihawk, some of the former warlords would be lying together with Buggy in order to make Buggy an emperor because Buggy already had a face. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty details, I mean, there are two people specifically missing, Weevil and Boa Hancock. Again, Weevil has his own goal, he has his own way of dealing with people, and he, has his own agenda and all. I think that's gonna be interesting later on down the line. As for Boa Hancock, I really expected her to go with the Alliance, although she's not that kind of a person. Personally, I'd like to believe she's the one who is definitely in trouble with the world government. And alongside her, Sabo and Vivi could also be in trouble, but they seem to be alright. Sabo seems to be alright. We don't know what happened to Vivi. Anyways, that aside, she's the only one missing from the picture. But let's not get too much into that. As for Buggy himself, I mean, there has to be reasons as to why people like Buggy and, Crocodile would be willing to make an alliance with him. Buggy really didn't have a face. Considering the three of them, the biggest face among the three was Mihawk, one who dueled against Shanks, known as the strongest swordsman, definitely Emperor level, with the most amount of threat level, phase value, whatever, whatnot. He is the most prominent, most influential figure among the three who definitely has the power to make the crew or the guild a Yonko level alliance. And fair, I mean, that's the most obvious answer. But Buggy being the face of it makes it look like Buggy has something special up his sleeve that we have no idea about. Now, previously we know he had a lot of links, he had stuff to do with the underworld, and he had a connection to a lot of people, but his crew wasn't really that strong. Which means either number one, Mihawk or Crocodile doesn't care about, Buggy being stronger or weaker than them. They only care because they didn't want to be leaders. They wanted to be, under someone, but not really ruled because Buggy really can't rule them. Or number two, which is the most interesting part, which I love to see, Buggy's hidden powers. Buggy's strong, Buggy is now Yonko level. That is what I want to see. And leaving that aside, let's talk about as to why, Crocodile and, Mihawk would... Let's talk about individual people. Why would Mihawk want to join Buggy? It makes absolutely no sense. As for why Mihawk would want to join Buggy, we know the Marines that were sent to him were really easy to beat for Mihawk. Considering he is the strongest swordsman, you'd expect an admiral to go and capture him, but the world government really doesn't want that much trouble, and it's kind of understandable. I always expected Mihawk to be a lone wolf and, roam around the seas, although Marines are targeting him, it's not like they can get him without paying a huge price. Now, granted, maybe Mihawk beat every single Marine sent by the world government, and then he just saw the influence that Buggy had and what he was trying to do. Maybe, whatever Buggy was doing, some sort of a shenanigans that made Mihawk catch an eye on him. I mean, yeah, he came across Buggy in Marineford, but that's really it. There wasn't anything spectacular about Buggy from Mihawk's perspective that might have made him want to join Buggy's alliance or Buggy's crew. And, well, that being said, maybe, Mihawk definitely knew Buggy was in Roger's crew and he has potential. And maybe he's been making moves in the underworld, and it maybe just not be Buggy. It might not be just Crocodile and Mihawk, but other people, other influential figures from the New World, might have also joined him. That could also be the case. So Mihawk joining under Buggy would give him two reasons. One, shelter from the world government. If you're forming an alliance and considering that a prior group, especially a Yonko crew, Marines wouldn't want to, go after you guys because you guys are freaking strong. Whereas if Mihawk was alone, there was a chance that Marines would keep coming after him, although he'd have to fight and he'd easily win. There was still a lot of trouble involved. And, well, that's all I had to say for Mihawk. I mean, he really wanted peace and quiet, and staying under Buggy's cocktails, doing whatever he wants to do, just providing him with the name and the fame and whatnot, sort of made him what he is, or what happened now. As for Crocodile, though, we have no idea what he's up to. We literally have no clue what he's up to. It's very hard to understand his motivations. It's very hard to understand what he's what he wants to do in the New World, or what he wants to do on joining under Buggy. Or why he'd do that makes little sense. Because he wasn't considered a warlord. He was never considered a warlord. Before the warlord system was abolished, Crocodile officially left the warlords. So what made him want to join Buggy now? He was being targeted before. He's gonna get targeted now. I feel like everything culminates to the last one that I'm gonna bring. But for Crocodile, he's already done Baroque works, he's been the leader, he has a bad reputation, he doesn't want to go through doing the same thing over and over again, and maybe he wants to join the game. Maybe he wants to join the game of finding the One Piece, or maybe doing shenanigans in the New World. That would, give him some time to pass and whatnot. I know he was Mr. One. Bon Clay probably still in Impel Down, definitely in Impel Down, being the queen of Okama Land. But we're not exactly sure how many Baroque Work agents joined up with Crocodile at this point. But nonetheless, I'm not exactly sure what his motivations are. Number one. Number two, we don't know what he's up to. Number three, I can't find a specific reason as to why he had joined Buggy now. Although, here's my point. I think everything comes together with Buggy turning the tables on the Marines. Now the hunters are being hunted down. I think that's more than enough reason for both Crocodile and Mihawk to be joining Buggy. Could be vice versa. It could be the fact that Mihawk and Crocodile joined the crew that made Buggy decide to go after the Marines, or Buggy decided to go after the Marines anyways, that made Mihawk and Crocodile join the crew. Another very valid option, most logical option I see, is that Buggy and Mihawk talked about it. Mihawk became Buggy's underling, quote-unquote underling. Then Buggy decided to go and hunt down Marines because now he has the name of Mihawk, Dracula Mihawk, and now he probably has more connections to bounty hunters. And so, setting bounty on the Marines, having connections in the underworld, while having Mihawk as your underling, whatnot, that would give him more than enough reason to start hunting down the Marines. He decided, alright, enough is enough. If no one's gonna make this move, I will. I'm gonna go turn the whole world into this utter chaos, and I'm gonna create this entire mess because I have Mihawk with me and I have influential powers. And that being said, that followed up with, that may have prompted Crocodile to join the crew because why not? You've got Buggy as your figurehead, and now you can do whatever you want under the rule of a Yonko. It was a collective effort. Maybe Buggy showed his true potential, but everything turns around when you think about what Buggy's doing. Now, hunting down the Marines. I don't think Mihawk would ever suggest that idea. Crocodile is a bit too what you might call lazy. Lazy? No. Crocodile is what you might call a little less sophisticated when coming up with a plan like hunting down the Marines. But maybe Buggy has some sort of a connection, or he came up with the idea himself to hunt down Marines that would basically make the world, turn around in its head. So, just Mihawk and Crocodile alone, and with connections to the underworld, I don't think that's enough of a reason for him to go after the Marines. And we haven't seen everything. We honestly haven't seen everything. There's still a lot more to do. We know the Marines are busy as it is, with the revolutionaries attacking Mauricio, Wano, Kaido and Big Mom being defeated, maybe Blackbeard making his move, and now Buggy and Warlord system being abolished, whatever. Things happen in Reverie. Marines are busy. And Buggy took the chance to take it over them. I mean, he was going to be executed or captured anyways. So he decided, whatever. I'm gonna get this all bunch of strong people with me, and I'm gonna hunt the Marines down. Because they're a bunch of junks. And, well, just the fact that even if you have Mihawk under your crew, let's just say I'm considering Mihawk as the first option because that's the more logical one other than Crocodile. So I would maybe think that other people like bounty hunters or maybe even other influential figures in the New World decided to join Buggy along the same time when Mihawk did or after Mihawk did. That sort of made him want to go after the Marines because Mihawk and Crocodile alone is just face. You need actual manpower and numbers to go after Marines and to set bounties to them. That being said, you guys give your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.